meteorologist Chase Jones.
Well, we were flying through the allergens, and we're about to fly through this forecast, because usually on the first of the month, I have to talk about a million things, and we're keeping our eye on some of that high cloud cover as it stopped just before San Angelo. But some impressive thunderstorm activity making its way across the southern part. Now, keeping our eye on a good run of those temperatures over the last 24 hours, going all the way from those 50s, a good 40-degree run up into those 90s, and we're cooling off pretty quickly right now as we make our way into a cooler evening. By tomorrow, we're only getting up into those upper 60s, but we're keeping our eye on the temperatures right now and seeing how fast we cool off. 75 in San Angelo, everybody else in a combination of those mid to lower 70s. You know, I'm always looking for 10 degrees. Seeing a few shades of green out there as we make our way into a beautiful evening. 75 in Sterling City, 75 down there in Junction, 70 all the way over there in Ozono. So looking like about 5 degrees across the entire Concho Valley, unless you want to count Eden. Then, of course, we're inside that 7-degree range, but still inside 10 degrees. Of course, we're keeping our eye on the moisture values as some of those storms start to give up and make their way out. Dew points have pushed all the way up into those 50s across the entire region, as well as the humidity indices all the way up into those 50s and those 60s. So I'm going to go ahead and call for a foggy morning, and then we're on the lookout for some of that low cloud cover. Now, temperatures are on their way out. You see how it's going to be warmer off towards the northeast, but off towards the southwest, well below some of those temperatures. So finally, I don't think it's going to be about 1,000,000 degrees out there. Now, moisture tracker is going to follow those temperatures, keeping our eye on the cold air that's going to push its way down. It's going to settle down just in time to get out there and cast your vote. Then as we make our way closer towards Monday, we're holding on to some of these stronger systems. Now, that means we're seeing excessive rainfall, or at least a little bit above average, a bulk of it off into the panhandle, but skirting just the side of the Concho Valley. Now, upper level pattern is going to show you how it's going to shape up, as well as those temperatures and into that excessive rainfall. We're keeping our eye on these cutoff lows as they circulate for about 3 days or so. The size of it over the Rocky Mountains is what really has me concerned as we make our way closer towards that second week of May. If really the first one, we're keeping our eye on the shape of this system. We see that low pressure system off the east coast. It's going to keep those winds primarily towards the south. The one around the central United States, also around Texas, is going to push a lot of moisture in. And then, of course, off the west coast, it's going to continue that conveyor belt as we fight back and forth with those 70s and those 80s. Now, the water vapor imagery already setting up, but you can see how much moisture is being pushed off towards the east, keeping our eye on that cold air sinking down from the north. I'm telling you, by tomorrow, keep the extra layer close. It's going to be a chilly start. Severe weather outlook is just outside of the Concho Valley, and then we saw some of those storms making their way out earlier this afternoon. That's the convection I had my eye on for some fingers crossed rain, but definitely on its way out. Atmosphere on the recharge. You saw it from those dew points. Now, getting a closer look at the Concho Valley, because by tomorrow we're keeping our eye on this low cloud cover. Systems on their way out, but again, keeping it on this early morning cloud cover that's going to linger around lunch. You see how low that is. Pockets of rain by the afternoon. A good system is going to try to make its way out, and then here comes the cold air from the north, where it's going to push all the way back up into those 70s, so nowhere near those 90s. And when I talk about wind chill, I do mean it's going to make its way down into those 50s. Then by tomorrow morning, we're still in those 70s. So prime fog fuel if you find your way out there. Take a good picture. You guys have been sending me some good ones of those towering cumulus clouds all day. So tonight, dropping all the way back down into those 60s, keeping my eye out for that low cloud cover, and we'll see if we don't get colder than that. Then tomorrow, we're only getting up into those mid 60s, if not those upper 60s, lower 70s, but the rain is going to be following around with those pockets of moisture. Pretty humid day. As we make our way towards Election Day, make sure you get out there, because the rain is going to stop just in time. And I know there's a whole lot of sports going on, but as we get back towards the work week, temperatures leveling back out in those 80s, while those overnight lows continue to fight back with those 50s and those 60s. Stay tuned while Break. You're watching KSAN News at 10.